Good morning, Mr. Paez Gonzalez. Mr. Paez Gonzalez, you're charged with an indecent exposure with a previous conviction. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
Officers were dispatched to an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. The complaining witness stated that he observed the defendant naked in the apartment pool and asked him to leave. The complaining witness stated he later observed the defendant naked while sitting on a patio bench while masturbating. When officers arrived on scene, the defendant continued masturbating while in the officer's presence.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case, Mr. Paez Gonzalez. If I test you for drugs and alcohol, what are you going to test positive for? I'm sending you now for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, you're going to test positive for. You're to come right back. If you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond, and I'm going to make it high. Do you understand? Hey, Vic.
Yes.
I'm sending him for a drug test.
Okay.
And then when he comes back, we'll appoint him someone. But you are to come right back after your drug test. Do you understand? Okay. Head on over that way. Hey, Will. Thanks for coming back.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mr. Paez Gonzalez, there are a lot of things that worry me about this case. Number one, this is the fourth indecent exposure you have. A third is a state jail felony, and then you're looking at time, felony time, number one. Number two, when you have two indecent exposure convictions, you're supposed to register as a sex offender for 10 years. And if you don't, there are even more serious consequences. When you fail to register, that in and of itself is a third-degree felony, and you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. So be careful, sir. You could be really looking at further charges if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You need to inquire into this. I'm going to give you a lawyer today. These are things that you need to ask your lawyer to straighten these out, because if not, you could be facing potentially more charges. Do you understand? Now, what do you do with yourself these days? Where do you live? Where is that? I can't hear you. Speak louder.
Wherever I do general services and general cleaning.
Do you live in an apartment?
That help me.
Who are these people? Well, he was allegedly here masturbating in a pool. Am I right? Was it a pool?
That's correct, Judge.
An apartment complex.
Yes, Judge.
Which apartment complex is this? Do you have the name?
It looks like Cedar Mills Apartments on
that where you live?
7200 Clairwood.
No.
Okay, you're not allowed to go back to the apartment.
Okay.
If I find that you go back, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. You're not to pick up any new cases as well. And I don't want you to go anywhere where young children congregate. I don't want you to go to any places where there are young children. If I find that you do, likewise, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds if you don't follow these conditions. I'm very happy that you tested negative. That makes me really happy. So good job on that. Okay. But let me ask you this. Are you supposed to be taking any medication as well?
Every day at 4.
Okay. You said you take an antiviral?
Yeah.
Do you take any other medication, like any psychotropic that a doctor's prescribed to you? Okay, I want you to continue to take it. When you take the medicine that's prescribed to you, good things happen. A lot of people say, "Oh, I feel great. You know, I don't need this medication anymore." And then they stop taking it, and then bad things start happening. We don't want that to happen. So continue to take the medication. Go back to the house that you live, and don't get into any trouble. Do you have any questions? Do you have a cell phone? How is your lawyer going to be able to get a hold of you?
I have an email account.
How often do you check this email account? Wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you write it down for me. Deputy, do you mind?
Yes, sir.
Deputy Young is going to get your email address. I'm going to give it to your lawyer. And then I'm going to send that to Will, your lawyer. He's going to email you now a phone number. When you get back to the house, do you have access to a phone? Okay, I'd like you to call him because you guys need to talk about this case. Once you do that, then I'm happy. I know that you're talking to him. You also must remain in communication with him. If Will tells me that you're not responding to the emails or phone calls or whatnot, and he can't find you, then I'm going to issue a warrant. Stay out of trouble. Don't pick up any new cases and stay in contact. Is that 14 or 17? Okay. The reset that we give you now will also have your lawyer's phone number on it. We will circle it for you so you know which number to call for him. If you ever have any problems, if you ever have any questions, you can always come back here and we can always help you out as well. Do you have any questions? Okay, Mr. Baez, stay out of trouble and good luck. Okay? All right. Don't leave because we need you to sign the conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. So, Michael, do you mind filing those?
Already done, Judge.
Okay, great.
Judge, so that's state
States, yeah. Jesse Garcia. Ms. Garcia, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On October 6th of 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance. The complaining witness and the defendant, who were in a former dating relationship, had a verbal argument over the defendant cheating on the complaining witness. The complaining witness then walked into his room and the defendant followed him, slapping him with open palms on the back of his head, causing pain. The defendant stated he was going to destroy the residence and knocked over a TV, so the complaining witness wrapped his arms around the defendant. The defendant then grabbed a picture frame and swung it back at the complaining witness's head multiple times, causing pain. The officer observed the complaining witness to have his left eye bruised, swollen, and had blood vessels popped with marks on the top left corner of his forehead. There is no prior criminal history on the part of the defendant, Judge.
Oh, if he wants to have contact with her or no?
But I can look.
Ms. Garcia, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case.
And looks like we haven't made contact yet, Judge, so I
Okay.
can't be sure on that.
Until I know, I'm going to order no contact with this person. You're not to have any contact with this person. You're not to be in possession of any weapons. A protective order was issued in this case. I suggest you get to know it because if you violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. And those are about the worst misdemeanor charges you can pick up. What do you do? How old are you, ma'am?
28.
For a living?
I'm a Spanish interpreter.
Okay. And what kind of money do you make a month?
About 800-900 a month.
That's it?
Maybe. I get,
Do you live with someone or,
well, I did live with my boyfriend.
okay, where are you gonna go now? Because you're not allowed to have any contact with this person.
I can go to my sister's house.
Yeah, you're not to have contact with this person. You're not supposed to go within 200 feet of 7 Boynton Drive. If you
Yes, sir.
violate this court state, they're gonna file additional charges. I'd be very careful.
Yes, sir.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I already have an application, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have you go to Victoria Center, resit. I'll have you take your seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions ready. Do not leave until you sign the bond conditions. And then I'll have you sign, or I'll have you talk to a lawyer today.
Okay.
Okay?
Jones, Caleb, page 14.